All right, what's going on, beautiful people, my brothers and sisters, the beautiful patriots? We got a little update for y'all, man. Kicking off September, right, man? I hope everybody's having an amazing start to September. I told you, don't take time for granted now. You know, we here, then we gone. Time is moving fast, man. Holidays are coming by fast again. You know, go and spend time with your loved ones, man. Check up on them, call them, text them. As right now, millions are struggling, dying. Suicide rates are up, depression, anxiety, PTSD, man. People are struggling. Check on your loved ones, man. Especially these last 3.5, 4 years. You know, we got to save America, man. We got to get back on track. We are fighting to get our country back, man. We are against a corrupt system, a machine, not a candidate, man. And it got to be too big to rig. Too big to rig, man. But we got shout out to the homie, man, at on Point Politics, man. He loves our channel. We love him. So I'm gonna make sure I leave the link in the description box down below. And y'all make sure y'all go also to his X page and go and follow him there. I'm gonna go and put it on the screen. He does an amazing job, you guys. An amazing job right here on Point Politics, man. And go to his channel as well. Does an amazing job, man, right here. So make sure y'all check him out. Link is in the description box down below.
Hello, everyone.
But we got a September update, man, on how this thing is playing out. I think last time we seen the 317, and we see these polls, and Trump is doing very, very well. But you know, then you see the other ones. You know, it's just, again, a lot of these polls are, you know, jacked up, rigged up. And we believe that history will be done this election, man, 2024. If things are fair, it would be it's gonna be history. We see things turning red. You know, we see a lot of people are sick and tired and fed up, man. And now they're rolling all kind of things out. You know, and we think you should, you should have to have a, citizenship, your ID. You know, yeah. Yeah, I agree with the 1 day voting. What he said, the 1 day voting, or just a 1 week vote, 1 week vote, 1 week or 1 day voting. I agree with all that. Yeah, gotta have your ID, your citizenship. Yeah. But as you can see, what they're trying to do now, man, it's getting crazy, you guys. You know, they want to stay in power. You know, and they want everything to turn blue. Like I say, man, it's looking like it's too big to rig, you guys. We can't get complacent, you know. And matter of fact, we do need to, fill those manipulated and jacked up rigged polls, man, and make everybody go out and vote, man. You know, we do got to go into the mindset, oh yeah, we're down, we're losing, you know. But we got the debate coming up in 8 days. 8 days, man, from now. So things can really change drastically, and we also predict that something big might take place this month, you know. But we also want to just send our prayers and protect the Trump campaign, his family, the Trump team, you know, RFK Jr., we do just protect them, man, because we don't know what to expect. You know, they already have to do rallies outside. When they do outside rallies, they have to stand behind, bulletproof glass. You know, that's how bad it's gotten. That's how much hatred we have now, how divided we are. People with Trump derangement syndrome, DEI, failures, things looking like inside jobs, and it might be inside jobs. You know, and we don't know what to expect next, man. So I want to send my prayers out for the Trump campaign, man. Trump team. Protect them, man, at all costs. You know, because they are against the corrupt system. You know. They are against the corrupt system. Trump's a threat to democracy. You know, he's a threat to their corrupt system. The threat regime, man. Nobody's going for that crap anymore, man. You know. Common sense, and we need common sense back. We need common sense back, man. under this leadership, I don't know how people are clapping for another 4 years, another, you know, for somebody that needs to be nowhere near a White House, you know. Tampon Tim, stolen Baylor, you know. Coach, the coach, he's you know, playing with tampons and throwing them in the middle of the street. I don't know. Tampon Timmy. Yeah. But the leaderships are completely different. And we just got their first interview after 40 days. You know, nothing but word salads. Don't understand what's going on. You know, changing positions of policies. You know, copycatting. Now she's for the building the wall, and you know, and then fracking. Yeah, and then come to find out she wasn't at McDonald's. She was at Willie's house. She was at Willie's house. Just can't make this stuff up, and I don't know what. It's crazy, man. You know, but people are clapping, and when I asked a Kamala Harris voter, you know, just give me one reason. Give me one good reason, and they can't never give me one good reason. The only reason we've heard is because she's a woman, or because she's a black woman, even if she's black or not. You know, identity politics is all you can hear. And it's sad that we have to hear that, you know, until, you know, November 5th. Identity politics. And there are some people that are, you know, that are literally going just because of identity politics. And they are a part of the problem that we have now. But a lot of people are waking up, man. People that were never Trumpers and anti-Trumpers, Gen Z, you know, blacks, Hispanics, everybody, you know, people are waking up, you guys. And I encourage you, keep spreading the message. Keep the fight going, you guys. You know, we've woken up a lot of people. I've talked to a lot of people that love this channel. They love me. They said, Rick, you know, I was anti-Trump and never Trumper, and you know, and then I started watching your videos. You know, and I've even shared your videos with other people, tons of my family, and we're voting Trump this year. People are waking up, man. People that voted Democrat they hold for years, they're sick and tired, though. They're just sick and tired. We all are, man. So we encourage everybody to go out and vote, man. But let's go and get into this this updated, and we're gonna continue to bring updates throughout the week. But again, we can't look at, like I tell y'all, man, we really can't be looking at stuff like the maps, the polls, this and that. You know, even if it says Trump is winning, or if it says a landslide, we see a lot of landslides. We see a lot of, you know, polls right now where, you know, he's actually after that interview, his polling shot through the roof again. And as you can see, her honeymoon stage has come to an end. But those are the recent polls we've seen. Right, these last 48 hours of Trump has just. So let's go and check this video out, man. Link will be in the description box down below. Sorry if I talk too much in this intro, but I love talking to you guys, man. I love keeping it real. You know, I know a lot of y'all love to hear me out. You know, but a lot of people are just sick and tired, man. Sick and tired. But hey, let's jump in.
Hit the like button and subscribe for more content just like this. Today we are going into my election forecast for the 2024 presidential election. So looking at my last video's model, we clearly see that Donald Trump's average performance is around 280 5 electoral college votes to Harris's 253 electoral college votes, having about a 65% chance to win the general election, with about 15 scenarios for an electoral college tie. So the chance of that happening is about 1.5%. Harris at about basically almost 1/3 of a chance at winning the presidential election. And looking at the election model here, we have a demographic margin, which we basically plug in our own margins for the demographics. We then find the nonpartisan leaning of every single state, how they vote relative to the nation, and shift that based on my average of the popular vote, which I estimate to be a Donald Trump plus 2.4 national environment. We actually need to bump that up to plus 2.6. I don't know why I hadn't bumped that up yet. That should have boosted his chances in some of the swing states very slightly. And then on top of that, we also end up having my polling average in those states end up deciding the average, and then those three margins are then calculated together to get my final margins for my election model. And then the probability / simulation model is then conducted for all of the states, and effectively Donald Trump is ahead in the electoral college as of right now. And today I'm going to be going over my election forecast and to tell you guys why Donald Trump is up in the electoral college right now. So for the safe Republican states, we have Utah, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, the Dakotas, all of Nebraska, including Kansas, as well as Oklahoma. We put that in the safe column: Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, as well as Alaska, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, West Virginia, as well as Iowa and Ohio, including South Carolina, as well as the state of Florida. I do think it's going to be over 15 points for Donald Trump, including Maine's 2nd congressional district. That puts Donald Trump at 179 safe electoral college votes. Looking at the current polling averages that I have for the national level, we can see that Donald Trump has been ahead, and this is not your conventional polling average. What I have done is I've essentially gotten all of the recent national polling data that goes back by a month, and what I do is I reweigh all of the party ID numbers based to a target electorate, which I do believe is going to be a tied electorate going into 2024, and that essentially reweighs all the Democrat or super Republican leaning samples back to where they should be. It just so happens to be that all of the pollsters are leaning Democrat this cycle, and when you go ahead and adjust for that, Donald Trump is actually at 48.3%, which is higher than what he got in 2020, which he got 46.9% of the popular vote, and bigger than 46.1% that he got in 2016. And so that does put him in a pretty good spot to be winning states like Iowa, Ohio, and Florida by safe margins. In Iowa, funny enough, he actually has a poll from Ann Seltzer, who's the most accurate pollster from there, who actually still underestimates Donald Trump by a point in their polls, a point or two. Donald Trump's up in a unreleased poll from Iowa by 19 points. And so that's pretty insane to see that kind of margin come out of Iowa. Looking at some of these safe Democrat states, California, DC, Maryland, Massachusetts, and Vermont will also be in this column, including the state of Hawaii. California about 23 points, Hawaii 17 points for Harris, Maryland about 29 points, Massachusetts 31, Vermont somewhat around 31 to 33, and DC around, basically 75 to 80% for Harris in terms of the margin. Looking at the likely states, we have Texas at 13 points for Donald Trump. He's more than likely going to improve in the southern border area of the state. You can see he made massive gains between 2016 and 2020, even flipped some counties in the southern border because of the border wall policies, and arguably actually saved the state for him back in that cycle. And he'll probably improve in some of the urban areas, sort of like how he stagnated them in 2020, except he'll probably actually gain in the city areas in this coming up election cycle. Looking at Georgia and North Carolina right now, these states are going to be in the likely Republican column. North Carolina is going to be around an 8 to 9 point win for Donald Trump, and Georgia is around 5 to 6 points for the former president. Same thing for the state of Arizona. Nevada around 6 to 7 points. Maricopa is probably going to flip by 4 to 5 points for Donald Trump next cycle, and he will probably gain in the outer parts of the state. Nevada, he'll come close in Clark County, and he'll make it pretty competitive there as well. Looking at Wisconsin, this will more than likely fall in the likely category, no pun intended, And what's interesting about it is I believe that he is probably going to perform very well in the driftless area. You know, Republicans have been gaining there with Donald Trump, and they've slowly been losing ground in some of these wild counties. But I do believe he's going to get killer margins in some of these rural areas and really outrun Kamala Harris in these rural areas, as she really has no Rust Belt appeal whatsoever. And he may even probably gain in some of the wild counties despite them kind of trending to the left. So that's probably what you'll see in Wisconsin. Right now, my polling average there actually has him winning the state by a little bit over 5 points right now. He's actually up by 6.4% in the average when you factor in undecideds. And so now looking at the likely Democrat states, Washington, Oregon are going to be in this column around 10 to 13 points for Kamala Harris. Colorado at 8 to 9 points for Harris. Illinois around 10 to 11 points. Connecticut, Delaware, Rhode Island, New Jersey will probably fall under 10 points. New York around 11 to 13 points, kind of in line with what the polling has right now. And so that kind of gives you your traditional swing states, except Maine's first, which is about a 12-point win for Kamala Harris. Looking at the lean Republican states, we have Michigan and Pennsylvania in this column. Michigan probably around 1.4% for Donald Trump. Pennsylvania 2.7%. These are what my polling averages currently have in these states right now. And looking at some of these more bluer states right now, what's pretty interesting is my average in Minnesota is around 4.5 points for Kamala Harris. This is actually her best swing state, funny enough, and it's probably because she appeals to people in Hennepin County by quite a bit. Now, we look at Virginia and New Mexico, and my averages there for the adjusted polling data are kind of close. I mean, they're all within half a point, basically, which is pretty crazy considering that, Donald Trump did lose the state by quite a bit last time, and it's based off of 4 polls, and when you average out those 4 polls, Harris is up by around 0.8% in the state of Virginia. And looking at a state like New Mexico even, if we can find the average here, right now, Donald Trump is literally trailing by 0.3% in the state of New Mexico, and it's voting to the right of Virginia in this scenario. So I do think right now Kamala Harris probably may end up winning it by about a tilt margin right now. Virginia possibly does go to her by a little bit over a point, probably 1.5 right now if I kind of had to guess, just because of those suburbanite voters in Nova. Nebraska second is a close one, but I do think it does go to Donald Trump very narrowly. And New Hampshire, I think, will probably narrowly go for the former president. Maine being pretty competitive. Harris probably wins by 1.5. My average has her up by 2. In New Hampshire, my average has Donald Trump up by around 2.5 points, but I'm actually saying he's probably going to end up winning it very narrowly. Maine and New Hampshire are interesting states because they have way more independents than a lot of the swing states, believe it or not. And so if Donald Trump does improve with independents, like Rasmussen reports is saying, or a lot of the polling data even is suggesting him having a 10 to 20 point shift with independents, he's probably going to end up gaining in some of those areas by quite a bit, to the point where states like Maine and New Hampshire could probably even be voting to the right of Minnesota or even New Mexico possibly. Now, if you guys did enjoy this election analysis, make sure to hit the like button and to subscribe.
Yeah. And man, I'm telling you, I don't even see how she make it past 220. I just don't see how she get past 220. I'm just saying, man. Well, again, y'all, things are fair. History is going to be, I believe some history is going to be done, y'all. Some history is going to be made. I know I said that in our last couple of videos, but I'm for real. It's going up, man. It is going up, man. Trump 2024, man. And we have to get out and go vote. Have to get out and go vote, man. Too big to rig. Huge shout out to my brother On Point Politics. Make sure y'all go down below and check him out. Make sure you go subscribe to him. Show him some love. Tell him you seen him on OkayRickk once again. He loved the love that he got last time when we bought him on the channel. So make sure y'all go show him love again if you haven't already. And I will catch them beautiful Patriots, my brothers and sisters, in the next one, man. Peace and love, y'all.